Ooh, shiny.
What are you doing staring at my table? Hello. My name is Enya, and we're here to, what exactly are we here to do? Does anybody know? No? Anybody? Oh. Zettaguard. Or is that Zettaguard? Don't actually go on that website. This looks to be a classic controller. It looks like it's got the old Super Nintendo look to it, but it's got these two boobly things here. Zettaguard, trademark, okay. The Zettaguard classic controller for Nintendo Wii. New. Don't go on that website. Don't. Do not go on this website. Don't scan that barcode, even though I'm pretty sure it's not going to do anything. Well, anyway, this is a I don't want to say it's a new kind of video I want to make, but this is going to be my review take on the Zettaguard classic controller. I know I haven't made a video quite like this in a long time, but I figured I might as well just jump right into it. How about that? Let's go at... It's bloody empty. Where's my... Where is it? Where... Hold on. Oh. It's right here. Oh, and you got an extra USB cord for no god-awful reason. This is it. You know what? I'm not gonna be embarrassed about this. This is the Zettaguard. This is the Zettaguard controller right here. Okay, so it's got the control sticks, got the ABXY or ABYX. It's got the control pad, got the plus, minus, the home button. It's got the LR, the ZL, and the ZR, and this extremely weird thing on the back that, Lord knows, I still don't understand what the hell this was intended for. By the way, did anyone ever actually figure out what these are for, or what their purpose exactly is? I'm fairly certain that there probably is a... Wait. Is that what I think it is? Hold on. What? That's... Okay. If there was one little minor detail that would tell you that this is definitely not a legitimate Nintendo product, well, it would be the fact that there's no Nintendo symbol here, the fact that there's no Wii symbol right here, and there's just the bloody fact that you can see, if I do this and point it towards the light, figure out what was that angle I used. Well, anyway, you can see circuit board right there. Right in there. You can see a bloody frickin' circuit board. I don't know what that's for. But why? What is this thing for anyway? I don't know. But I'm not going to be embarrassed about this. But just give me a moment as I try to collect myself. Do I really have to do this? Okay. Fine, I'll do it. Well, I had various reasons for why I wanted to get a new classic controller. One of the reasons why was because I got tired of touching my original actual Nintendo product classic controller, and I'm going to show you why. Look at that. It's like night and day. Ugh. Ugh. I really don't like touching this thing anymore. It's oh god. Ooh, okay. And even worse. I bumped the camera, and ooh, what even? How does stuff even get? How does stuff even get in there? How? How? And this looks sticky. Jesus. I'm just using this video to show you nasty, gnarly looking products here. Alright, so reason why I have a new off-brand classic controller initially, and the reason why was because, well, I mean, look at this thing. It's all manked up. It's got chew marks from a dog. Look at those control sticks. Ugh. They're all dirty and bite marked and gross, and the control pad is all yellowed. It's just disgusting. It's a nasty little thing. It's hard to clean, by the way. These things actually shouldn't be that hard to clean, but the problem is, how the hell do I unyellow this? I have no clue how to unyellow this, or especially I don't know how to unyellow this. But despite the fact that it's all gnarly looking, it still functions fantastically. It's actually one of the greatest products that I ever purchased that was actually licensed by Nintendo. You see, it's got the Wii, it's got the Nintendo, it's got everything that's necessary for it to be a Nintendo product. And then we got this. I mean, let me see. Is there really much different? No, not particularly. I mean, as far as the button interfaces look, I mean, this is more like a darker gray, almost black color, when it comes to like the buttons, and the control pad. It's like this is a darker gray, and this is like an old. It's more of a gray to match this little symbol right here, which I don't even think I can scratch off. I think it's part of the plastic at this point. But my personal opinion, after playtesting this thing for a few hours, I was playing a variety of my games. I was playing. I tried it with what was it? Crap. Oh, I played The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time with this. Control stick functions fantastically. You know, the L button works just fine, and I can L target and move around and use the control stick for the C buttons just perfectly fine, actually. These buttons look a little the plus and minus, don't they look a little bit wonky to you? Like, they look off. Now that I'm looking at them, they look a little bit off-centered, which is probably just a product of the fact that they're part of the same circuit board, except it wasn't placed in there like 100% perfectly. And you can even compare it to these two things, like the fact that these are kind of sunk in. Like look at this. It's almost flush with the the controller itself. Look at that. Look at that. It's almost flush with it. But if you look at an actual classic controller, they're raised up. They're higher up. The buttons work just fine. Let me compare the two. Trying to compare them. Well, the obvious thing is the fact that this casing or whatever, the circuit board, or the circuit board that's on the inside feels like it's sunk down further down than this thing. So it's making the buttons kind of feel like they go in a little too far. And that is first and foremost one of my biggest gripes with this. The fact of the matter is that despite the fact that this is a classic controller, it is not good for certain classic games. And I think I can try to show you exactly why. Damn it, I keep doing that, and I don't know why. I keep bumping the damn camera. It's because I'm not, I don't do this kind of review video thing very often, so it's hard for me to really not bump into the damn thing. But anyway, let me show you exactly what is wrong with this. Alright, let's take a look at this. Okay, you see the disgusting D-pad. Let's look at it from this angle so you don't see too... ooh, gross. There's no good angle for this thing. I swear to God, there's no good angle. let's see, the D-pad. The D-pad works just fine. You know, when you push the buttons in, there's a response. There's like a click response. It's very lightly heard, but it's a very good click response. And you know, the one thing I really like, so when you press down, let me try to give you a good example. When you press down, well, even though you pressed all the way down, the pad, the button you push down on is still kind of up. It's not exactly inside at this point. The same with these buttons right here. Let me give you a better one. See, even though you pressed it down, it's still pretty high up. It's still raised up pretty well. Now, the problem with the Zettaguard, not so much with these, but one of my biggest gripes is the fact that, for one, there's no feel. There's no feel for response. There's no click when it comes to the D-pad. Not only is there no click when it comes to the D-pad, but when you push down, it sinks into the casing. It sinks into it. And it's probably more obvious if I show you like this. It sinks in, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like a proper, you know, a proper D-pad. It feels like you know, it feels like I could probably press in this whole thing, which I am. I'm pressing in the whole thing, and it's hitting all the buttons all at once. That's probably not a good sign. Probably not a good sign at all, because that's probably is pressing all the buttons all at once, and just a slight movement can change which one you're pushing in. And I don't like how that one, like, despite the fact that it goes in so far, if you do this, it raises it up really high. But you can press all of them in at the same time, and that's not a function of a classic controller. If you try to do that with this thing, the center is like, it's solid, like it won't push in. It only pushes in if you go on a certain direction. It won't push in if you do it like this. I mean, it kind of responds a little bit, but that's only because you're gonna press either one or the other button, and that's a basic little thing that really should be easy to, you know, understand how to make the buttons work or the contacts work on the inside so that they're raised up more so there's a better response. I don't like this D-pad one bit. The control sticks are fine, the buttons are fine, it's just the D-pad is horseshit. Let's see. Let's compare the chords. You know, earlier I was gonna record this video, and I thought for a second, I could have swore that one chord was longer than the other, and I think it is. I think that the Zettaguard chord is just slightly longer. I think it's like that much longer than the original classic controller. Well, anyway, do I like this thing? No, not particularly. Will it serve its purpose? It will, except I don't see it serving its purpose for, you know, recording videos of, like, you know, the super classic games like Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World, or anything like that. Because in order for me to play through and you know, record videos like Super Mario World or something like that, I gotta have a D-pad that's great. I gotta have a D-pad that feels fantastic and authentic. And that's probably why, despite the fact that I bought this, I kept this. Because even though it's all grimy and nasty, the D-pad is still superior on this thing than it is on this thing. So what's my initial verdict for this? Well, if you want to be able to play the super classic games like Super Mario Brothers and Legend of Zelda, and, you know, all the other, like, Super Nintendo games and NES games and all that, I would definitely recommend using this. because when it comes to games like that, being able to use a good D-pad is necessary. And I don't trust anyone that tries to play the old super classic games that require a D-pad with a control stick. I don't trust any of you. You are not to be trusted. So this game, this controller is only good for games that require the control sticks and the buttons. Any games that require the D-pad are a no-go. You're going to want to go back to the original classic controller if you want to play any games like that. And yes, I did consider the fact that maybe my version of this controller that they manufactured was just a slight error on the D-pad, but that's kind of not a good thing if you send me a faulty product, you know. If you sent me a faulty product, I would prefer you give me an actual legitimate product that doesn't have any faults like this, or just give me my damn money back. So anyway, classic controller, the original, has a better... Actually, you know what, I'm thinking about this now. This has a better weight to it. This feels really light, and listen to that. That doesn't sound good. This sounds good. The original is great. This is crap. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.